Hello everyone, this is Mr. Fu speaking. Can you hear me? Okay, good. So, this class is Fundamental Interactive Programming Design, and today is our class one. So we're going to talk about what is Unity 3D and how can it help us to do some interactive design. Okay, so throughout the whole class, we will be recommend to buy this textbook. It's written by Penny DeBile, and it's a great book I ever seen in the market. So, but it is okay if you choose finally not to purchase this book because we're going to use our own class material throughout the class, and I'm the author of the series of these YouTube videos. So you are not the first one to enjoy the class. The class material has been taught for more than 5 times. So it's a very interesting class, and welcome to join us. And we're going to use English throughout the class, so don't be afraid. Never use Chinese in this class. All right. So I have another duty. I'm a YouTuber also. Okay. Actually, I have 33 kilos followers on Bilibili. Bilibili is a Chinese YouTube. If you ever heard of it. And currently, I quit being a YouTuber and I focus on my daytime job. So I'm your full-time professor. And if you have any problem of how to being an indie gamer, you are always welcome to ask me anything about how to be an indie gamer because I was an indie gamer before. Okay, so uh, about the score weights, we have 18 weeks this semester, and the 2 weeks will be 2 day off. Okay, so here's the breakdown of the total points. And we have homework for 20 points, and our midterm demo waits for 30 points, and we have a final project demo waits for 40 points, and the rest are the participation score, and the participation will cost 10 points. Okay, so this is the schedule of our class. So be aware that on October the 9th, it's our national holiday, so it's a day off. And for the next coming year, and the January the 1st is the New Year's Day, so we're also having a day off. Okay, so this is the calendar of our class. So in the first class, we're going to have an introduction about what it is Unity 3D. Okay, maybe you've already heard of it. Unity 3D is the most famous engine all around the world, and according to the information is posted on its official website, and it says it occupies more than 50% of the market share. Actually, I think this is too humble because, as for my personal estimation, Unity 3D has already occupied more than 90% market share right now. Actually, it's true. It's really true. And if you are interested in learning how to program game, probably more than 90% of the class you can find on internet are all talking about Unity 3D. So we are doing the same thing. So we're going to learn Unity 3D throughout this semester. So, what will be the benefit? What will be the advantage if we choose to learn Unity 3D? Okay, and for interactive design department, we're going to teach you how to design AR and VR experience hereafter. So at that time, we're going to also use Unity 3D as our game engine. So you are going to learn for once and use it for multiple times. So it's really benefit for us. And by the way, if you are going to learn 3D modeling, and Unity 3D could be one of the real-time rendering engine for you. And that means if you put your model in Unity and make some animation for the whole animation thing, Unity 3D can render a very beautiful image for you just in a click. because it is a real-time renderer. Okay, so you see so much more benefit. So it's a nice decision for us to learn Unity. Okay, so if you're already being a gamer for several years, probably you ever seen all of these games. So the game on top left is called Genshin Impact in English. In Chinese, it's called Yuan Shen. It's very famous in East Asia. It's originated from China, and the studio is located in Shanghai city. So the rest are all designed in mainland China, including the lords, and I don't know this one how to say in English, but in China this is a very famous mobile game. And the bottom right corner, this is the Tower of Saviors, also a very interesting game all around the world. So all of these games are made up with Unity 3D. And next, so if you are interested in playing games on Steam, maybe you ever heard of this Steam. Since Steam is a very popular PC game all around the world. So do you know Hollow Knight? Oh yes, good. Hollow Knight is a pretty good game, and it's made by Unity, and the rest are also made by Unity. All right, so I think that's too many. Okay, if you know how to program in Unity 3D, you can make some game better than all of these games. Yeah, I trust you. Okay, let's do it. Okay, next is a short comparison of the 3D and 2D game engines. The first one is Unity 3D, and the second one is Unreal Engine number 4. Now it progressed to Unreal Engine number 5, so UE4 and UE5. So throughout the table, you can see just focusing at the Unity and UE4, please. And the most difference is the performance. UE4 and UE5 engine has an excellent performance for 3D game, but Unity 3D is not so bad. Unity 3D has a great score in its performance on PC and mobile. And by the way, Unity 3D, even though it does not surpass the performance of UE4, the community of Unity 3D is really large and active. So almost any of the bug or the problem you are facing to, could be solved in the Unity 3D community. And as for the plugins, Unity 3D has so many free asset and plugins. If you have a GitHub account, you can log into GitHub and download many of the free plugins there. On the other hand, UE4, I don't think it has so many free plugins. Most of the UE4 plugins are paid plugins, so that's a huge difference for our students. And the third one is a 2D game engine, which is not so popular, so we can skip this one. Okay. All right. So this is a comparison of engine. Oh, right. So if you are interested in how to program in UE4 or UE5, probably I will have another class talking about that. But since UE4, if you really want to do programming in UE4, you have to use C++, and that is not an easy task. So on the other hand, most of the UE4 programmer, they use some kind of script, node scripting. It's a visual programming tool. So if possible, we're going to have another class talking about the visual programming tool of UE4 maybe next semester, right? Okay, next. So next we're talking about the Unity 3D installation. First, I need you to download the Unity Hub from internet. What is a Unity Hub? Okay, the Unity Hub is a multi-version controller. So if you are going to download more than one copy, more than one version of Unity, then you need this little tool to help you to management. Okay, so please uh, go to the link, go to this link and download Unity Hub. Okay, I think you already installed the Unity Hub. Right now, You have to have a one Unity account in order to make everything work. So please click this little icon and click the sign button over here, and following the requested step, and have one get one your personal account. Okay, this is the application for your C when you are applying for an account. Actually, you can turn your Google account or turn your Facebook account into a Unity account. So I will recommend you to click one of these two little icons today in order to save more time. All right, so let me introduce the different licenses provided by Unity. So, as you can see, you can apply for free license, which is called a personal license. The personal license is permitted to use in your personal working environment, not including the school. Not including the school. If you're using Unity personal license, you can use it at home, at your home, in your house, or in your private studio, but never using in school, because in school this is a public area, a public space. So if you are going to use your Unity in school, you have to apply for Unity education license, which will be available in this link. So today I will teach you how to apply for personal license temporarily. And when you go back to your home, please remember to click this link and get your education license. Okay? And look at this. This is my license. Obviously, this is a professional license. Actually, this is an education license. So when you get your education license, it will be shown that as a professional license. Okay, great. Next. All right. So if you don't have any license and you are willing to have your first license as a personal license, just click this icon. And when you get your personal license, you will be shown in the list over here, like mine, and it will show the activation date and also the expiration date. Typically, for personal license, the expiration date will last about 1 week, just after the activation date. So that means you have to activate again your personal license every week. Understand? But every time you reactivate your license, it costs nothing. It is free. So don't be worried. Okay. For the educational license, it is the duration is about 1 year. So you just have to activate once, and you can use the whole year. Or I mean, for educational license. So that's a huge difference. All right. So now let's install a new version of Unity 3D. So let's look at the left-hand side menu buttons. And you'll find an install button over here, the menu button like this one, and just click this. And then you'll be able to see several different versions of Unity. It will be listed over here. Just choose the biggest number and mark it as a LTS version, and just click the install to have it in your computer. So what is a LTS version? The LTS means long-term service, and that means if you encounter any problem, you can ask for the official support, and they will not uh, easily give up. They will try their best effort to solve your bug and make everything works perfectly. So that's the LTS version, long-term service version. So in my slides, I just installed the 2021.3.9, and I think this version is already all right now. So you have, for you, you should install the biggest number version. Okay. Next. So in this dialog box, we have to select several mandatory requirements, and when you're installing your Unity 3D. So the first one we need throughout the class is Microsoft Visual Studio Community. Okay, this one is a huge monster, just like you see over here. It costs about 1.24 gigabytes, and actually somebody like to use a lighter version, which is called Microsoft Visual Studio Code. But I personally do not recommend Visual Studio Code. Um, the, Even it is lighter, it is smaller, but I think for a professional programmer, we are still relying Microsoft the Visual Studio Community version, and this is very very powerful. You can do C programming, C++ programming, and Node.js programming, and Python programming, and even JavaScript programming and C# programming. Oh, never Java programming. Java is from Oracle, and Microsoft is its competitor. So you'll never be able to run Java in MS as Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio Community. Okay. Okay. So I think we can skip this one. All right. So next we're going to have a quick tutorial for you. So the first thing to talk about what is a Unity 3D project will be like a Unity 3D game will be saved in your hard drive, and it will occupy a project, a folder. So every time I say a project, that means a project folder in your hard disk. And if you are going to share your project with your friends, the only thing you have to do is to copy the whole folder and copy the whole folder with your friend, and just send it your whole folder and you'll have everything in this project. So it's simple, right? So never delete anything you don't know in the project folder. Otherwise, you'll lose some important asset or lose some important codes. Or you can ask me whether the file could be deleted or not. So next, let's understand what's the difference between a project and a scene. Just look at this illustration. For any of the project, you'll have several scenes, just like Mario Brothers. So do you know Mario Brothers, the very famous game? Okay, for Mario Brothers, there are about 100 levels in that game. And you're starting from 1-1 and 1-2 and go to 1-3, blah, 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 blah. And until you reach the final level. The final level is A-number 4. So there are about 50 to 100 levels in that game. So look at this illustration. One game has several levels, and level is scene. Level could be taken as a scene. So for one project, I have 3 scenes in design. That means that I have level 1, level 2, and level 3. So the term scene could be treated as level in our class. So look at this one. A project. A project is a real folder which resides in your hard drive. There is only one project for one game. They are equivalent. But for scene, a scene is one level which belongs to a project. There can be numerous scenes for one project, so that's different. Okay, now you know the difference between project and scene. And for this semester, you'll have one final project, namely, you'll make one game. And in that game, you'll have more than one scene. Maybe you have 3 different levels, namely 3 different things. So this is a different project. A project is different to a scene. Next. So next, let's create a new project. And go back to Unity Hub, you'll find a project list. It's over here. On your left-hand side menu, there is a menu button called the project. Just select this one. And then you'll find another button on the upper right corner, which is shown as a new project button. So So whenever you click the new project button, you're going to initiate a brand new empty project. So let's do it as an example. So this is your Unity Hub. So first click the Projects tab over here. And after that, you'll find a new project button on the top right corner. So click the new project button. Click. So now you'll have a new dialog box. So in this dialog box, the first thing we are going to set is the editor version. So right now, just expand the drop-down list and you'll find several versions over here. So you're going to use the largest number one. For me, the largest number I have is 2022.3.7. So I'll select this one. Great. This means later I'm using this version to create my new empty project. And next, the default template is 3D. That means the default setting for your editor will be focused on 3D project design. And I think 99% of your student project will use this 3D template. So let's keep it as default. And next, we are going to have a name for this project. So for this project, I'm going to use P and sorry, I just call a new game. So I'll give you a project name as new game. Okay. And the last thing is to verify your location. And for Unity project, each of the project will cost about 500 megabytes to 1 gigabytes. So you better save this project to a D drive or a larger drive on your computer. So in my computer, I just have a C drive, so I have no choice. So this is my working directory, and in my working directory, I have several different tools. Unity is one of my tools. So I name this folder C Work and Unity. Okay, that's it. Click the Create Project button. All right, so right now Unity Hub is going to generate a whole brand new editor for you. For each of the game project, your hub will generate uh, different editor for your different games. So it will take some time. All right, next. Okay, in this slide, we're going. You see so many templates, but actually, 99% of your student project will only refer to the 3D template. There are several interesting templates, but in my humble opinion, this fancy template will not have any advantage on your student project. So maybe you can try, but I will recommend you starting from the 3D template. Okay, we've already talked about this, so we're going to skip these slides. Okay, next we're going to talk about the Unity 3D interface. So while the new editor is compiling, I open another instance of my editor in order to show you some UI interface. Uh, there's no need for us to wait for the generation of new project. Oh no, it's done. Okay, all right. So now let's go to my new game editor. Okay, just like you see in the slide, we have several different areas in the 3D in the Unity 3D interface. You don't have to memorize each of the term. You just need to distinguish different part of the 3D interface. So next time when I say toolbar, you have to know the toolbar means the upper area of the editor. This is toolbar, just like other Windows software. So you can see File tab, Edit tab, and some other like Help tab. So this is very common toolbar. Okay, of course Unity have its toolbar, and the second one is a hierarchy tree list. It's over here on your left hand side. The hierarchy tree list that shows all the GAN object in your levels. So next time, if you put about 10 to 11, 12, or to 50 or to 100 different GAN objects, they will all be shown in this list. And you'll have a long list over here. So every GAN object could be found in this long list. It's hierarchy tree listed. And the next one, the third one is level editor. Actually, this area is used by more than level editor. Level editor is the default window. You have a game window and other store window just occupy the same area. And you can switch between these three windows by the little tab over here. So as you can see, scene, game, and other store. When you select the scene tab, the area will be shown in front of you, and you'll find your level in this area. So you can tweak any of your level elements, like a GAN object, for example, a ladder, a stair, a plane, a ground, or even some building. They are all movable and be able to rotate in this level editor. So in the first and second class, we will heavily um, take so many operations in level editor in order to let you get very familiar with this level editor. All right, so next one is number 4. Number 4 is parameter inspector. Sorry, this is a typo. Parameter inspector. Every time you select any GAN object in the tree list, you'll find all its parameter over here. So for me, I will select the stair. Okay, now the stair is positioned at some x, some y, and some z, and its rotation is some x, some y, and some z, and its scale is some x, some y, and some z, blah 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 blah. So you'll have a very detailed description about the GAN object. All right, so the last one, the fifth one is called as a window. Is also being called a resource manager. So in this window, you can find everything in your project, namely in your game. And this is similar to your file explorer. Let me show you. Okay, so whenever you add a new file or new folder, you can always be able to see it in the explorer. All right, so just right click and select showing explorer, then dive into the other folder. Now these two folders are the same. You may say that, Mr. Fu, no, they are not the same. See, here is an extra file which is ended with .meta. What is this? All right, this is a meta file. This describes some very uh, important message of the folder. So for any of the folder or data in your file browser, Unity will generate a corresponding meta file for you. You don't need to browse the meta file. There's no need for you to understand. All right, now let's right click and create a new text file. I call this one abc.txt. And some magic will happen. See, watch here, watch here. 3, 2, 1, click. Ta-da! So now you will have you can see a ABC file and ABC test in the same folder. So these two basically are the same. Okay, see. At the same time, you need to generate a meta file for me for this new file. The reverse is the same. If you add any special material in your Unity 3D, in your resource manager, and go back to your file explorer, you'll have it the same thing. They are the same. So if you delete any of the generated things in file explorer and then go back to Unity, boom, the deleted file will be gone too. So this is how Unity reflects your file structure for you. Just like I said before, the only thing when you are going to share your project with your friend, the only thing you have to do is to copy the whole copy the whole folder and send it to your friend. That's it. Simple, right? Next. So next, we're going to talk about how to add and delete any GAN object in Unity scene. All right, so just go back to Unity. Let me have a demo for you. And to add a new GAN object, we are going to add an object to the tree list. Right click at the empty area of the tree list and select 3D object cube. Ta-da! So now you have a new cube. Let me do it again. This time right click at the empty space of the tree list and select 3D GAN object sphere. Ta-da! Again. But unfortunately, these two little things are overlapped. So you can drag the axis to pull out any of them to separate these two little guys. So this is how we add a new GAN object to the scene. And somebody will ask me, Fu, how to delete these little guys? How to delete this little GAN object? Simple. You can select the one you want to delete and just click the delete key on your keyboard. Just delete the one in the scene and click the delete key on your keyboard. Simple, right? So next, I'll need your help to put these 6 little guys onto your screen. So they are a cube, a sphere, a capsule, a cylinder, a plane, and a quad. And the first 4 little guys are not hard to understand, but the 5th one and the 6th one, Mr. Fu, what's the difference? What's the difference between a plane and a quad? Okay, let me show you. So first, let me add a plane to the scene. So as you can see, it's very, very large. And second, let me add a quad to the scene. This time, just like you can see, the quad is very little. So roughly, uh, the quad is 1 by 1 in its size with a 90-degree rotation and is perpendicular to the ground. On the other hand, the plane is 10 by 10. It's really, really large. So most of the application, you will put a plane as a ground and use a quad only for some like poster or like some window or some building blocks, smaller, which is approach 1 meter times 1 meter. 1 meter times 1 meter for quad. 10 meter times 10 meter for plane. So that's the difference. All right, let me delete 2 of these little guys. All right, so let's now do a simple exercise to put all these 6 little guys onto your scene. All right, next. Okay, next we're talking about how to navigate in your scene. The first thing we are going to do is to move your cell, and the second thing we are going to do is to move others. So how to move your cell? Simple. You can use your mouse to finish the movement of your cell. To pan your cell, sorry. To pan your cell, you can drag your middle mouse button. In order to have a better feeling of the space, I recommend you to add a cube, and position the cube at the origin of this scene. So this time, when you are dragging your middle mouse button, you'll get a better feeling about the movement of your cell. So simply by dragging the middle mouse button, you can move your cell. And the second thing is to rotate your cell. To rotate your cell, you have to click and drag the right mouse button. So see, I'm right now dragging my right mouse button so I can rotate my view. So simply by hold and drag the middle mouse button and right mouse button, you can navigate different angle to the scene. And the third operation is zoom. Simply by scroll your middle mouse button, you can zoom in or zoom out. Simple, right? So right now you can pan, rotate, and zoom, and this will allow you to navigate the scene. Simple, right? But now we have a very difficult problem, Mr. Fu. How to let me get to the back side of this cube? All right, just like you can see, maybe right now I'm looking at the front side of this cube, but I want to examine the back side of this cube. So how can I do that? You may say that, hey, I can scroll my middle mouse button, and look back and pan again. Alright, so I would say this is time consuming and you are not going to do that in my class. And because I provide several advanced movement skills for you, so you'll never waste too much time on moving yourself again. The secret I'm going to show you is called flying mode. You can hold your right mouse button and use the WASD key plus Q and E keys. There are overall 6 different keys to move yourself like a fly. So let me have a demonstration for you. Right click, hold your right mouse button, hold it, and press W to fly forward, and press S to fly backward, and press A to fly left hand side, and press D to fly to your right hand side, and Q to move downward, and E to move upward. So now you can fly through all over the scene. If you use fly mode, you'll have a better feeling of where you are, and you'll have a quicker operation when you're going to fly to the best side of anything. All right, and we have another advanced movement skill. It's called the focus mode. A focus mode is especially smooth when you need to examine certain object very clearly and in its detail. For example, if I'm going to move myself to the back side of this cube, but on the other hand, I will hold myself can see the surface clearly when I'm moving, and obviously fly mode isn't good enough because when I'm flying, my view is jittering. My focus can't stay at a stable point. So let me introduce the focus mode to you. In order to focus any object, select the object and press F, the first letter of focus, F. So this will let you to focus at any object. Let me have an example for you. Right now, I'm looking backward and looking the above sky. And let me select the cube and press F. So this will let me focus at the cube very quickly. After you focus on certain game object, you can hold the Alt key and drag your left mouse button to rotate smoothly around the game object. Let me do it again. See some random position, and now I'm going to focus on cube and have a clearly examination around it. Select the cube, press F, go back a little bit, and hold the Alt key, drag my left mouse button, then I can do a very smooth examination. So let's have some exercise on these different navigation skills. All right, next thing we're going to talk about is to move others. So to move others, you have to use the QWERT. Somebody called it QWERTY. This is the hotkey on the menu. Let me show you. So let me take the little cube as an example. And in the new version of Unity 3D, you will see a toolbar over here. It's docking on your top left corner. And if you press QWERT, 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 you'll be fast. You'll be switching between. You'll be switching among all these icons very fast. QWERT, Y, okay, but no U. Oh, okay, QWERTY. So let me explain each of the icon. Firstly, for the Q hotkey, it is the hand tool. A hand tool is the default status of your handle, and any other operation will be aborted. So that is the hand tool means. Okay, so namely, hand tool do nothing. It just aborts the other operations. So the next one is W. W is the moving handle. So if you click W, you will see a three-colored axis on your game object. So by default, the three-color axis should be the same to the global axis. This is valid when you select the uh, over here, the global mode. If you set the mode to global, no matter how you rotate your game object, its three-color axis will always be the same to the global three-color axis. Okay, let me press Ctrl Z to abort the operation. So to move the game object, you can simply drag the color axis, and it will move according to your command. When you're moving, when you're dragging your color axis, you can hold the control key at the same time, and this will limit your movement to some grid, invisible grid. And so that you can put your game object on some perfect positions. If you do it without holding the control key, and sometimes some annoying floating numbers will be arised. Okay, let me use Ctrl Z to go back to the original status. And if you are going to move this game object in a 2D plane, you can select the little parallelogram over here, the diamond shape over here, and this will allow you to move this game object on a certain plane. It's a planar movement. Okay, great. I think you get it. So this is W hotkey. The next hotkey is E hotkey. E hotkey is for rotation. So just like before, when you're rotating the game object, and while you're holding the control key, you'll be limited to certain grids. And this will allow you to move the game object in a perfect angle. But just like I mentioned before, if the axis mode is set to local, and then when you modify the rotation of this game object, and you press the W hotkey again, its three-color axis will point to a different direction compared to your global axis. All right, I think you can get it. All right, and oh yes, when you are rotating the game object, but you are not selecting the axis, for example, you click here and rotate, then you'll have a free rotation for the game object. But this is not good because when you're rotating the game object, not using the axis, you will not be able to expect the final rotation correctly. So I personally recommend every time you trying to move your rotate your game object, always drag it on the axis. Okay, the next one. The next one is scaling tool, and let's press R hotkey R, and you will see a three-color axis, but with some little cube as the end of the axis. So you can drag the little axis and have a scale on different direction. If you want to uniformly stretch or shrink the shape, you can drag the center little gray box. This will allow you to scale the GAN object uniformly. Okay, and next is the T hierarchy. The T hierarchy is for 2D GAN. So it will try to figure out from where are you looking at the 2D asset, and it will allows you to stretch the shape in a 2D manner. So if you're making a 2D game, probably you have to click the 2D button over here and switch back to 3D mode, click again. But throughout this class, we're not going to make a 2D game, so we'll seldom use this hotkey, okay? So the last one is transformation tool. So just like you see, the transformation hotkey, just the this is just the combination of the four hotkeys. Oh, sorry, the three hotkeys. It has movement, rotation, and scale all at the same time. But for me, this is a mess. I seldom use this handle, seldom use this hotkey. All right. So the next one is on the bounding box volume. For some game object which has some bounding box, you'll be able to see some little green dot over here. So if you switch to the last one, the bounding volume editor tool, you'll be able to drag the little green icon, little green dot to maneuvering your bounding volumes. This is only when you have a collider object or something or some similar object like a probe. We are going to talk about probe in some class later. Okay, that's it. Oh yes. So if you don't want to drag any handle or axis, on the other hand, you want to directly assign the size or the value for its movement or position, you can directly uh, give the value to the field. The field is in transform block. And the default value, there's a caveat for you. For the default value of your transformation, the position should be 0, 0, and 0. And this is the position of your origin of the scene. And the rotation, the default value is also 0, 0, and 0. But for scale, the default value should be 1, 1, and 1. So if you set the default value of your scale to 0, 0, and 0, it will be gone. The GAN object will be gone. Okay. So alright, so that's it. Okay, the bounding box collider. Okay. The reason why the acid is flying above the air is because I just modified the bounding box. So when it's calculating the center of this shape, it's also considering the tweak that the modified box collider. So if you close, if you deactivate or disable the box collider, the assets will go back again. All right, that's it. Okay, next we're not going to talk about it because this is a little bug on previous version on 2019 Unity. Okay, so I think we can stop over here and have an exercise today. So we have some so many times left, so we can build a simple level, right? So I need you to uh, put several little kids like this one and try to watch its back and rotate it around and to wandering throughout the whole scenes. Just like you can make some simple things by using the primitive shape. So can you make a humanoid? Can you make a human shape by simply combination of these six little things? I think you can. So how about let's do that? Oh, let's do that. Okay. So right now it's an open exercise time for you. So let me have an exercise.